Trans-Montana lawmaker Zooey Zephyr sues the state over removal from the House floor.
Montana State Representative Zooey Zephyr, the state's first transgender legislator, tonight is banned from the House floor for the rest of this year's session.
This decision is a doubling down of the silencing of 11,000 Montanans.
Today's action follows a fiery speech Zephyr made last week as her colleagues considered a ban on gender-affirming medical care for children.
I hope the next time there's an invocation, when you bow your heads in prayer, you see the blood on your hands.
Montana State Representative Zooey Zephyr asked a court Monday to allow for her return to the House floor after she was silenced and then barred from chiding her Republican colleagues over legislation to restrict gender-affirming health care and for encouraging protesters. Attorneys for the first-time lawmaker sued in state district court in Helena on behalf of Zephyr and several of her constituents who the attorneys said were being denied their right to adequate representation. Zephyr is a transgender Democrat who represents a liberal district in the college town of Missoula. Zephyr, whose comments in the Montana Legislature have made her a prominent figure in transgender rights, said that she and her constituents were targeted because she dared to give voice to the values and needs of transgender people like herself. She is the first elected transgender representative in Montana's history. The legal challenge against House Speaker Matt Regier and Sergeant of Arms Brad Murfitt comes with just days left in the legislature's biennial session. A spokesperson for the Montana Attorney General Austin Knudsen, a Republican whose office will defend the case, said the lawsuit was frivolous. In the declarations filed as part of the lawsuit, residents of the Missoula area said they wanted Zephyr heard in the legislature. Zephyr's attorneys hope to get a ruling as quickly as possible on their request for a temporary restraining order against Regier and Murfitt. Beyond everything else, how does a state legislature or a house make a decision like this? It's unheard of until 30 days ago in Tennessee, when Nashville says, black guy, stop speaking, you're out. Black guy, stop speaking, you're out. White woman who did the exact same thing, you stay. Now we watch it in a different way. Black, white, trans. This is the growing trend here in Montana. Montana's situation is a disgrace, and Montana is going to be embarrassed by it. Here's the reason why. This issue, this first ever trans representative or not, you can't silence the legal representation in your state. And as a result, defending trans rights and her representation of her gender identity, she represents approximately 27,000 residents in the state of Montana. For all intents and purposes, the state legislature has silenced those 27,000 votes through the silencing of the one vote and the one voice. When this challenges out of the ridiculous backwater of Montana, think Alabama in the Northwest. When that happens, it's going to get into a federal court, and even Trump-appointed judges are going to lean to the side of the argument that this is taxation without representation. They're going to lose because you cannot silence your state representative because they represent the people. Yes, they're not a person. Right. They're the people. And in this instance, this representative is 27,000 people in Montana. You're going to lose so badly, and Montana is going to be humiliated in their embarrassment, because the last thing you want to be, Montana, is Alabama.
I hope she has good lawyers, yes.
The thing is, though, I don't think they care if they win or lose. The idea is what they've done is they've put a divisive wedge in there, and they can run on that next time, and they know that that's going to embolden them within their own constituency, whether or not they're found to be at fault.
Yeah, banning books, banning people, that's great. That's the way to
Sadly,
once again, I think we suffer in this country from all. How did we get all so twisted? And, all should mean exactly that, all.
All right, well, now we're going to talk about Harlem. We're going to talk about sunshine. LGBTQ plus news is vital for our community and for the broader world as a whole. We have enough enemies at Fox News. Tucker, Sean, and Lara are loud. We need passionate allies. Happening Out Television Network, Queer News Tonight, and It's Happening Out are literally out of the closet and into the headlines. Our community needs your support. Like this broadcast and subscribe now to ensure the growth of the entire LGBTQ plus community.